my channel. So today I'm back with another K-pop BTS related video. So I'm going to get straight to it. Basically, in this video, what I want to do is answer some of my most frequently asked questions about the K-pop community or being a fan of BTS. I'm very openly a huge fan of BTS. Like, I post about them everywhere. I have a fan account on Twitter. I post about them all the time on Snapchat, and I'm always talking about BTS. Because of this, I get many questions regarding what it's like to be an ARMY and questions about the K-pop community and different slang, because many who get into the fandom, whether it be ARMY or SHINee fans or anything like that, there's always people who ask me questions. What does this mean? What's that for? What does that word mean? Why do you use that? Why do you say that? And I was also very confused when I first got into the BTS fandom, which is the first K-pop fandom I ever got into. I also had a lot of questions and did a lot of research and had to learn myself what all the words and stuff were, what all the slang was, all the inside jokes. So I'm here to make a video to explain to you the ARMY inside jokes, different slang that we use in the K-pop community, different things like that, so that you understand if you're new to any K-pop fandom or if you're new as an ARMY as well, because I'll be covering ARMY type related stuff as well. I haven't, oh my god, I almost dropped my phone. I've got a list here of all the questions and I'm just going to cover them. So the two questions I get the most are, what is a bias and what is an ultimate bias? I think everyone wonders this when they first get into a fandom, because when you start speaking to people in the K-pop fandom, they will ask you, who is your bias? And if you're new, you're like, what is a bias? I don't know this, enlighten me. A member you are biased for. That is why it's called a bias, because you're biased for, get it? Bias is, yes, just your favourite member of the group, either for personal reasons, like they've helped you the most, or you relate to them the most, or just because you think they are the most attractive, or you think they're God's gift. I don't know. You can have a bias for any reason you want. It's basically just your favourite member of the group. An ultimate bias, however, is a bias because you can have multiple biases in one group. I'll use their stage names just because it'll be easier for new fans to understand. I'll use stage names. An ultimate bias is is the member who will always be your bias, like, because sometimes you can change your bias from one member to another, because, you know, you get bias wrecked. There's another member who is just wiggling his way in there, you know, you find yourself like, oh, hello, maybe you should be my bias. That's called a bias wrecker, and that basically means that they're changing your mind on who's your favourite member. If that makes any sense. I'm so bad at explaining things. So your ultimate bias is the member who will always remain your bias, and you'll never change your ultimate bias. You never change your ultimate bias. Your ultimate bias is your king. You worship him, you know, he is your everything, or she, depending on if you're into girl groups. So hard to explain, you know, when you've been in the fandom for so long and you just know what all these things are, it's so hard to explain to someone who is new to the fandom, you know, like, I don't really know what I'm saying. An ultimate bias is your everything bias, and then your biases, just normal biases, are just your favourite members, so. Relating to that, people ask me, what is OT7? You'll see this a lot in being an ARMY. A lot of ARMY are OT7. I'm OT7, besides Hobie being my ultimate bias. So, what is OT7? What does it mean when you say I am OT7? Being OT7 means you don't really have a bias. Every single member of the group is your bias, basically. You love them all so much, you love them all equally. I mean, if you're a true ARMY, you love them all equally anyway, regardless of having a bias. But when you're OT7, you don't have a bias, you don't have a favourite member, you just love them all. I think it comes from OTP, like one true pairing, but one true seven. And it basically means like they're all your biases. So if that makes any sense, I hope so. The next is, what is aegyo? So obviously when you're new to a K-pop fandom, people talk about aegyo. They're like, oh my god, his aegyo is so cute. He has such great aegyo. What is aegyo, you ask? Well, aegyo is the act of something cute. So in Korea, when they say do aegyo, they'll go, or they'll make a cute face, or they will make a little cute sound, or they'll do something cute basically. And aegyo is the act of cuteness. What is saranghae? Saranghae, whatever you call it. Saranghae. Oppa, annyeong. Someone here says, when I was new to the fandom, so many people yelled annyeong at me when I asked to welcome me to the fandom. What even is annyeong? So, saranghae, oppa, annyeong are all Korean words. Saranghae means I love you. Oppa in Korea means older brother if the speaker is female. But it can also be used as a nickname for like boyfriends or crushes. Oppa is just a cute nickname for somebody you have a crush on or who's older than you. Annyeong. Annyeong is hello. So you'll see annyeong and annyeonghaseyo used in the fandoms, and that's how you say hello in Korean. So if somebody yells annyeong at you, yell annyeong back. So things like hyung and dongseng, which are used by the groups, and hyung means older brother. So, for example, Jungkook in BTS is the youngest member, so he will refer to all of the other members as his hyungs. He'll say like Jin Hyung or Jae-ho Hyung or something like that, and that means older brother. It just means older brother. Dongseng means younger brother. So, for example, Jin is the oldest member of BTS, so he will refer to all the other members as his dongsengs. Hand gestures. I also get this question a lot. What are the hand gestures like this? What does this mean? What is this? This is clearly a heart. If they do this on stage, it's a heart. This is also a heart. It's a Korean finger heart. Basically, there's a heart. Just imagine there is anyway. And this in Korea means I love you without saying it. So say if like someone bought you food and you wanted to tell them that you love them for bringing you food, but you have food in your mouth, you could just go like this at them whilst you're chewing and they'll know that means that you love them, you know? It just means love, basically. What's the difference between BTS and Bangtan? Well, BTS means Bangtanso년단, and that means bulletproof boys. So Bangtan is literally just short for, it's another word for BTS. I call them Bangtan a lot. I rarely call them BTS. Like if I'm referring to BTS in the house, I'll be like, oh, Bangtan did this thing the other day, and they like whatever. What are saseng fans? So saseng fans are fans who are obsessive. Like, and I'm not just saying this in a joking way, like I'm obsessed as well, but saseng fans are fans that take their obsession to the next level. A lot of them try to kidnap the members, they'll stalk them for days, they'll take pictures of them when they're in various places, they will stalk them, wait for them in places, try to kidnap them, try to grab them. They're just, they take their obsessive behaviour to the next level, and it's usually very disrespectful and very rude. It's psychopathic behaviour usually. So saseng fans are no, don't be a saseng fan. They're not even fans, they're just very rude, and they take their obsessive behaviour and they run too far with it. Next thing is the inside jokes. So I'm not sure about for other fandoms because my main fandom is Bangtan. I'm an ARMY, like I love SHINee and I love GOT7 and I love G-Idol and Astro and I love so many other bands, but ARMY is my main fandom, so I'm going to cover the ARMY inside jokes. The first one is In Fires Man. In Fires Man, yeah. So there was this one interview where Suga misheard inspires and he thought it was inspires, in fires, And the fandom thought that was so funny, so we use in fires, man, yeah, all the time, and that's where that came from. There's also ARMY used a saying called I purple you. A lot of people get confused over this as well, because I always say on Snapchat like I purple you, I purple you, I purple you, I purple all of you. And people who aren't ARMY are like, what? V in BTS once said that purple is the last colour of the rainbow. It means I will trust and love you for a long time. And that is where I purple you came from, because once he finished saying that, and once he finished his, you know, quote, he said I purple you all, which basically means I will trust and love you for a long time. So when you say I purple you, you're basically saying I trust and love you for a long time. We use that in the fandom, we use that to talk to the guys, we use that in the fandom to talk to each other, we use it outside of the fandom to confuse people. Like, I purple you basically is a deeper way of saying I love you. Also things like shit down, oh man, holy shit, this is my shitu, dirty water is my faceu, I'm very loser, Jimin has no jams. There are so many inside jokes, and all of these came from the guys. Like, they will mess up on their English or something like that and say something like dirty water is my faceu, and we make a joke out of it and we use it as memes, or we use it just to be funny, you know. Obviously there's quite a bit more, like once you get deeper into the fandom, more things come up and you're like, ooh, what's this? But those are like the basic things that you need to know when you are new to a fandom. So I hope that's helped some of you who are new to the BTS fandom or any other K-pop fandom. I hope you enjoy the K-pop life. There's no escape. Once you're in, you don't get out. Welcome. Comment down below if you have any more questions. I'll be happy to answer them all. I've been a fan of BTS and K-pop for 7 months. Oh wow. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up so that I know you've enjoyed it. My social medias are all linked in the description box below, so if you'd like to head over and follow them, thank you in advance. Subscribe to the channel as well. Once again, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!